Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. You're listening to Divorce Your Landlord that airs every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm your host, Terri Young. If this is your first time tuning in, Divorce Your Landlord is just not about your typical landlord, but the landlord that holds us back from achieving our goals, fulfilling our destiny, limiting ourselves from living a purposeful life. Today's show is sponsored by Z3 Carolinas. If you've been debating whether or not to sell your house and are curious about the market conditions in your area, call them at 980-231-1428 so they can help you decide the best time to put your house on the market, or visit their website at www.z3carolinas.com. All right, so today's landlord we're divorcing is the mindset that you can't have a restart or reboot. So I looked up the definition of restart and reboot, and this is what I found. When you select the restart option, you're asking your operating system to restart all the applications which are running on it. This is known as a warm or soft restart, where the system restarts without any interruption of power, while the reboot is a cold restart. Means when you press the button to forcefully restart the operating system, this process is where the system power is discontinued for 3 seconds. So restart, reboot is all about computers, right? But it can also be applied to life. So in life, rebooting allows you to restart and get back to living normal. Whatever normal is, but that's a whole nother topic. After a crash, you fry, you worn out, you overtired, disencouraged, you lacking purpose, you in need of direction, lacking that motivation, or you just experience a setback. You are completely useless until you reboot. Because we are human beings and not computers, our reboot is not as mechanical as 1, 2, 3, Control, Alt, Delete as a piece of equipment like computer. But it can have a similar impact. If I'm feeling a lack of motivation or direction, or maybe I'm exhausted from a stressful situation, any combination of these things could really drag us down. And it doesn't matter what day, what week, what month, what season of the year it is. Just like a PC operating system, our human operating system needs to shut down, restart, and reboot. So, let's talk about rebooting your life. Why do people reboot? You're not happy with the way your life is going. You decided it's time to draw a line in the sand, hit the reset button, and start over. But what does rebooting and restarting your life actually mean? And how do you go about it? Do you have to wipe your operating system clean and start from scratch? Those factory resets. Or can you just focus on certain areas of your life that you'd like to improve? Should you throw caution to the wind and aim to transform your life overnight? Or should you take it step by step? Well, everyone's approach to giving their life a reboot will differ depending on their circumstances, but just know we all need a restart or reboot. So many times people think of a reboot or a restart as negative. It's never negative. I call it's sometimes the slingshot in life, where you have to go back sometimes to jump forward. All right. So rebooting or restarting your life is about improving your current situation. It's about looking at your life and deciding what needs to change, then making that change happen. It's about heading in different direction with different priorities. It's about growing, right? It might be something you decide you need to do as a result of recent events in your life, such as health scare, job loss, relationship breakdown, or even something like a pandemic, such as COVID. Or it might just be that you reached a point where you can't carry on as you are anymore for a number of reasons. A reboot can be more or less extreme, depending on what you need. After you restarted your life, it may look much the same to an outsider, although you know big changes have been made, but it might be totally unrecognizable. So here, I want to talk about 12 healthy tips for restarting your life. Reflection on your current situation. Having accepted what you need to change, the next step is to consider where you are right now. So number one, reflect on your current condition. Take some time to reflect on all areas of your life. It may be that although a lot of things in your life need to be totally rebooted, there are plenty of areas which are going well. You don't need to start again from scratch. So you don't need a factory reset. Think about your relationships, your job, your financial situation, your health. You need to be honest with yourself. Where are the problems? And what the main things you need to focus on are. It would probably be helpful to journalize, write this down to make it more tangible. It's important to make sure that you're not blaming yourself or anyone else for the way things are, but just really accepting them. After all, if you can't accept you have a problem, you'll never be able to solve it. It is time to let go of the past, whether you kicking yourself for it or continue to relive it in your mind. It's never going to change. There's nothing to change. Okay? Number two, decide and focus on the approach. People often ask whether rebooting your life needs to be complete, immediate transformation, or whether you can do things step by step, little by little. To be honest, this is entirely up to you, although many people will be in a situation which makes transforming lives overnight a viable option. Due to other obligations, most people won't be able to suddenly reboot their life by buying a one-way ticket to the other side of the world, say something like Dubai, or quitting their job, or something equally life-altering. It's just not practical for most people. So most people will probably decide to focus on changing different areas of their life one by one. Number three, get rid of everything that's weighing you down. And when I talk about everything, I mean everything. An accumulation of stuff we don't really need can hold us back, making us feel sluggish, lethargic. Just as things take physical space around you, they take up mental space too, even when they're not being used. So before you start to make a big changes in your life, it can be a good idea to have the ultimate spring cleaning and sort out all your possessions. Look at all the things that surround you. And if you don't use something, recycle it, give it away, or even sell it. I'm talking about them clothes, shoes, books, household items. Fix anything that's broken but is useful and say goodbye to anything that's not. You'll be amazed at just how free you feel once surroundings are clean and uncluttered. Number four, say goodbye to those toxic people that are wearing you down. After reflecting on your life, you might realize that one of the things you need to work on are relationships. If there are certain people who are holding you back or bringing you down, then it might be time to say adios, amigos, goodbye to them. This could involve some difficult situations, or you can just distance yourself from them without having conversations. That would give you more time for the people you really love when you do that. Number five, Let go of thoughts and feelings that are weighing you down. Big change in your life will often be about external things, whether people, objects, surroundings. But the most significant changes you can make will often be internal. Y'all get that? Big change in your life will often be about external things, but the most significant changes you can make will often be internal. Negative thoughts and feelings are often what holds us back most in life. Make a conscious decision to co-sign those thoughts that leave you feeling overwhelmed, drained, or unworthy to the past. Give it to the past. Meditation, learning to have better control over your thoughts, can make a huge difference here. But so can talking to a professional such as a therapist, life coach, if you have thoughts or emotions that you can't seem to get beyond or move past. Number 6, be grateful. Most of us get so swept up in our day-to-day activities and lives that we forget to appreciate all the amazing things we have, including the small ones. So before you tear up your life entirely and start all over again, it is important to be grateful for all the good things you're blessed with. Practicing gratitude can totally change and transform your outlook and perspective. Believe me, I know this personally. I do my grateful journal, and it has helped tremendously. It can mean you are clearer about what your priorities are and the direction you want to take your new life. Try writing things down. Start off with maybe listing 3 things you are grateful for, big or small, every night before you go to sleep, and then every morning before you wake. Keeping that gratitude in the forefront of your mind as you reboot and restart your life can and should take things with you into your new future, and gratitude will tell you what those things ought to be. Visualize. Number 7 is visualize. Picture the life you want. Now that you realize how you do not want to live your life, it's time to focus on what you do want out of it. You're going to reboot your life, but what would that rebooted version look like? Don't be afraid to be very specific, but ambitious at the same time. This will change and evolve over time, but it's great to start with a clear vision to aim for and adapt as you go along. Don't just stop at the practical things such as where you live, what you do for work. Consider your emotions. Consider what you want to feel in this new future of yours. If you have a particularly stressful life now, you might prioritize peace of mind and body above all else. That's where I'm at. I need a peace of mind. If you are a bit bothered and bored of life, you need some excitement, some fun, then you might focus on excitement and fun for your transformation. It can sometimes be easier to work out what you feel than work backwards from there to find the aspect of your life you should address first. It's all about the feelings. Allow your feelings to help drive you to achieve that vision of happiness, right? That reset. Number 8, picture the person you wish to be. Maybe the reason you want to reboot your life is because you have grown into a person you no longer recognize. One with traits or behaviors that you really don't like. It can be hard to look at yourself in the mirror and accept the brutal truth about the person staring back. But as with all self-improvement, identification of the problem is the first step to overcoming it. Maybe you've gotten lost in a spiral of negativity fueled by 24/7 news cycles and social media. Y'all, I quit watching the news. I just had to. Maybe you are cynical and untrusting of others because of hurt caused to you by someone close. Maybe you're arrogant and closed-minded, and this is causing difficulties in your personal relationships. So in looking to the future, ask yourself what negative traits you wish to leave behind and what positive traits you wish to adopt and be in the future. Do you want to be a kinder, more accepting person who gets along well with others? Do you want to be more humble and willing to ask for help when you need it? Do you want to be more disciplined and hardworking individual who gets things done? While traits and behaviors tend to take a lot of time and work to alter, there is nothing to stop you from improving upon them, whether that's something you can work on by yourself or work with a therapist, a life coach. You can achieve big changes. Number 9, set goals. Set yourself tangible, achievable, realistic goals based around your new priorities and your new vision of your new life. What do you want to have achieve 1 month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, or even 5-10 years from now? Make sure goals are measurable so you know whether or not you have actually achieved them. And what's more, don't go overboard with goal settings. I kind of do that sometimes. While some people will want to transform their lives entirely all in one go, it's generally more practical to focus on the things that will make the biggest difference to your life, to your health, or to your relationship first. Number 10, build your goals into a routine. Make them a habit. Big goals are great, but if you don't work towards them a little every day, you'll never reach them. So think about creating a routine and how you can make little changes every day, every week, every month that will add up to a big change over time. For example, if you want to transform your fitness, make sure you plan regular exercise every week. Start with short, manageable sessions and gradually building up from there. If stress is a big problem for you at the moment, find ways to incorporate calming activities such as meditation, yoga, or just escaping in a good book or dancing, whatever, into a routine. You and your well-being are the product of things that you do most often. So align the things with your goals and the future you wish to have. Number 11, focus on your bad habits. Rebooting life means you want to change the way you live it for the better. So now's the time to say goodbye, adios to those bad habits you know are holding you back. Start by thinking about what the triggers are for those bad habits. For example, I'm going to get all these cigarette smokers out here. If you reach for the cigarettes when you stress, think about how often that happens. Decide what else you can do to calm your nerves rather than smoking. Maybe go for a walk, do a couple jumping jacks, run in place, color, whatever. Whatever your habit is, think of a practical substitute. Don't be discouraged if you slip up every now and then. No one breaks a bad habit immediately without any slip-ups, so don't use that as an excuse to give up. So if you slip up, just refocus and start back over. Now, this is one of the most important ones, number 12. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself mercy and compassion. Restarting and rebooting your life is never an easy thing to do. So when you're going through this process, you need to go easy on yourself. Be patient, be kind, and make sure you're pushing yourself, but not too far. Expect to have highs and lows. Moments when you're happy you're making these changes and moments when you wish you never started. But no, it's all will be worth it in the end. So if you decided it's time to reboot your life, then today is the right day for that. The thought of reboot at the beginning of the year could be just the fresh start that you need to refocus and revive your outlook on life. It may be said, as the definition states, you are useless until you reboot. Maybe not literally, but in terms of moving forward, setting and meeting goals, learning new skills, making life decisions. Yep, you could be useless without a reboot. After the break, we will continue our discussion on divorcing this week's landlord, aka the mindset that you can't have a restart or a reboot. You are tuned in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Are you thinking about selling your home this spring? Here are 5 reasons why you need to list your home now and not wait until the spring. 1. Buyers are looking right now and they're ready to purchase. More than 6 million properties showing schedule across the country each month. 2. The law of supply and demand tells us that if you want best price possible to negotiate your ideal contract terms, put your house on the market when there's strong demand and less competition. 3. Newly constructed homes will be your competition this spring. 4. Moving now will save you thousands, as home prices are projected to appreciate by 5% or more over the next 12 months, as well as interest rates. And 5, it may be time for you to make a change. Is waiting more important than being closer to your loved ones? Is waiting more important than your health? Only you know those answers to those questions. Take time to think about your goals and priorities as we continue to travel through 2022 and consider what's important to act on now. This is Terri Young with Z3 Carolinas, and we look forward to getting your home sold. Give us a call at 980-231-1428 or visit our website as www.z3carolinas.com. Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn Radio app and through iHeartRadio. You're listening to Divorce Your Landlord, and I'm your host, Terri Young. Shout out to our sponsor, Z3 Carolinas. The only BS they have time for is buyers and sellers. If you're looking to sell or buy real estate, contact them at 980-231-1428 or visit their website as www.z3carolinas.com. If you or anyone you know has a testimony about divorcing a landlord, please reach out to me via Facebook at Divorce Your Landlords. Text or call me at 980-202-1769 or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. I would love to hear your stories, your testimonies, and be able to share it with the audience. If you're just tuning in, today's landlord we're divorcing is the mindset that you can't have a restart or a reboot. So, you guys know I'm a realtor, and I get this all the time. Clients reach out to me and say, oh, I had a foreclosure, or I filed bankruptcy, or we're currently in forbearance, so I can't buy a home. Foreclosure, bankruptcy, forbearance, and real estate is what we call a crash operating system for homeowners who experience these. As a homeowner, you will need to restart, reboot, or reset. But the game of home ownership is never over because of these things. So, however, there are ways for homeowners to stop the crash and or to reboot or restart after the crash. So, for instance, in regards to foreclosures, before your home is foreclosed by the bank, call a realtor. Have the agent sell your home. Especially in this current low inventory market, you would easily sell your home before the banks can foreclose on it. This will allow you to save the equity that you have built in your home and allow you to pay that mortgage off. So back in October, I had some clients reach out to me to see if I could help them sell their home before the bank's before they sold it. I'm having a time of my life today. But anyway, before the bank sold it off, we spent less than $30,000 sprucing up the home, putting fresh paint on the walls, and doing some minor repairs. In less than 4 days of their home being listed, it was under contract, $20,000 over list price, and completely sold in less than 30 days. They walked away after paying their mortgages and the HOA, because they had 2 mortgages. They walked away with over $120,000. Yes, you heard me right. See, if the bank would have sold their home or auctioned it off, foreclosed on it, they probably would not have received any money. And if they would have received some money, I can guarantee you it would not have been $120,000. Nothing at all. So, another thing is bankruptcy. This is a question I get all the time. Oh, I filed bankruptcy. Get it, understand it. We all go through some things. And filing bankruptcy is just not the final end to, oh no, you can never own a home. The most common type of bankruptcy is Chapter 7 bankruptcy. During Chapter 7 bankruptcy, the court kind of wipes away all your qualifying debts. Unfortunately, your credit will also take a major hit. So if you've gone through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you'll probably need to wait at least 4 years after a court discharges or dismiss your bankruptcy to qualify what we call conventional loans. However, government-backed mortgage loans are a bit more lenient, and you need to wait 3 years after your bankruptcy dismissal or discharge to get a USDA loan. But to qualify for a FHA or a VA, you only need to wait 2 years after the discharge or the dismissal. Now, in regards to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, it involves a reorganization of your debts. So Chapter 13 means you may need to make scheduled payments to your creditors. It doesn't have as large of an effect on your credit score, and you can keep your assets. A Chapter 13 bankruptcy is a little bit less serious than Chapter 7, but most type of loans still include a waiting period. The amount of time you need to wait to apply for a conventional loan after a Chapter 13 bankruptcy depends on how a court chooses to handle your bankruptcy. So if the court dismisses your bankruptcy, you must wait at least 4 years from the dismissal date before you can apply. If the court discharges your bankruptcy, the waiting period is 4 years from the date you filed and then 2 years from the dismissal date. So let's talk about what everybody is talking about right now, and that's forbearance. So this all came about because of COVID. This is the delayed in payments. Wish you could buy a home or refinance while mortgage rates are low, but you are recently were on a forbearance plan, right? In the past, homeowners typically had to wait at least a year after their forbearance ended to take out a new mortgage. But that's changed thanks to some new rules created during the pandemic. You may be eligible sooner than you think. So you're like, okay, what's changed? There are some temporary guidelines that have gone into effect for mortgage enterprises like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, as well as some revised guidelines for FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Under these guidelines, you may be able to buy or refinance a home immediately or in as few as 3 to 6 months, depending on your lender's requirement and despite your pandemic-related forbearance. So, home ownership isn't a one-time option, and you can't have a reboot or a restart to get back into the game of home ownership. So just understand, because you had or you experienced a foreclosure, a bankruptcy, or even a forbearance, home ownership is still possible. Whenever you're in doubt, contact me, Terri Young, at 980-202-1769, or email me at terriyoung@kw.com, and I'll be happy to advise and guide you should you be dealing with a pre-foreclosure, a foreclosure, a bankruptcy, or even a deferment. This is a wrap for today's show. Join us next week as we continue to divorce landlords. Again, if you or anyone you know has a testimony about divorcing a landlord, please reach out to me via Facebook at Divorce Your Landlords, or call me at 980-202-1769, or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. Also, I would love to hear the feedback about the show, what you like, what you don't like. And again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remember to connect with me on Facebook, Divorce Your Landlords. And also, if you want to be a guest on my show, or you're interested in having free advertisement, call me 980-202-1769, or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. You have been listening to Divorce Your Landlord. I'm your host, Terri Young, on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Until next week, continue to be blessed. Thank you. Now is the time to cash in on your home's equity. Want to know what the value of your home is? Reach out to us at Z3 Carolinas for a free home equity analysis. You can give us a call at 980-231-1428, or go to our website at www.z3carolinas.com. Did you know if you get pre-approved and go under contract now, you will not have a mortgage payment until March of 2022? Got real estate questions? Call us at Z3 Carolinas. Reach us at 980-231-1428, or visit our website at www.z3carolinas.com. Did you know you can get pre-approved to purchase a home with a credit score of 600 or higher? And all you have to pay is 3.5% in down payment. If you have a goal to purchase a home, call or text me, Terri Young, at 980-202-1769. Again, that's 980-202-1769. Remember, I help buyers and sellers worldwide.